It's the 29th Annual Bounce Trumpet Awards Special, Stand Up, featuring this year's honorees: Stacey Abrams, Yara Shahidi, Tommy Smith, and Naomi Campbell.
Growing up in South London was fun. There was always music playing in our household, Bob Marley, reggae, and it was a lot of fun. I mean, South London, we're very straightforward. What you see is what you get.
She already knew what she wanted to do in so many ways. She was very conscious of herself. Naomi made sure that she was 100% when she was in front of that camera.
I look at it as a performance when I walk on the runway. I didn't walk the same for every designer. It really depended on what I was wearing, what the mood of the show was, what the music was, what the vibe of the audience was. All of those things come into play.
But she basically was someone who really was destined for greatness. You know, sometimes people just are born being a star.
You could have a Vogue cover, you could have a Time magazine cover. Doesn't mean everyone's knocking at your door. You still gotta go out there and prove yourself, reinvent yourself. I've never been someone that sat on my laurels and just expected it all to come to me. I knew that I had to go to it.
Clearly, Naomi Campbell has broken down doors for Black women in the fashion industry and in the world, specifically with how we see beauty and see color. Her body, her presence, her walk, all of those things that she is so blessed to embody, but I don't know if people realize how smart and business savvy she is.
I was raised with a really strong group of women in my family, and so it really is basic foundation to speak up when I felt within myself that something wasn't right for me. They tried many times to silence me. You got labeled for it, but it didn't stop me because I would see my white counterparts getting what they wanted, and I'm doing the same work, and I'm not gonna get the same? No. Yeah.
A lot of people don't have that. They don't have that strength to sort of believe that they can confront her representatives because she knew that this person was going to get more money, or this wasn't right, or how people were being treated.
An outspoken advocate for the diversity coalition that she helmed with her mentor, Beth Ann Hardison, Naomi would keep watch and publicly call out the lack of diversity in the fashion industry, causing designers to take notice and change course.
Naomi is someone who would call me and say, "Ma, you've got to get back here because they're not using any Black models." She would be the one who kept her eye on the prize for that.
Has there been progress from that? Yes, there's been progress, but I still feel there's a long way to go. I feel like, my God, what if we hadn't done that? Where would we be? What would be happening to these young girls of color and of different diversity that just are not able to speak up for themselves and fear if they do, they won't get the job? So that's why we're here, so that you don't have to feel that fear.
First time she did anything on her own that she used that power was when she went to South Africa to work and do something for Mr. Mandela.
Who I call Tata. He opened my eyes to Africa. And it was a feeling that you like and you want to do more and you want to be more and be there for those who are not as privileged as you are. If walking into a hospital room for 2 hours and playing with kids can make them smile and they've only got a few months to live, I loved doing it.
A seed was put in her head and she just took advantage of it, and she knew that she too could do something like that, and she did it.
In 2005, Naomi launched Fashion for Relief, bringing aid to those impacted by disasters and raising over $15 million to date. In addition, through her recent initiative, Naomi for Africa, Naomi is once again advocating for diversity, using her resources and her voice to bring African designers and textiles to the world stage.
I had support, and I will always be grateful for that support, so therefore I will always give support back.
Naomi has put the work in. She puts the seeds in the ground, she makes sure she waters it, she fertilizes it. Naomi is her own garden, so she basically makes sure that these things exist. She's not calculatingly doing it, but she's doing it innately.
She's got that magical combination of so many things that make her the superstar that she is.
I could ask her, let's not model anymore. She could hear it, but she ain't never giving it up. She'll be on the runway until she's 75 years old. That'd be sure.
Advocate for humanitarian issues and a cultural icon spanning over 3 decades, there will never be another Naomi Campbell. The 29th Annual Trumpet Award recipient of the Vanguard Award,
Thank you to Bounce TV and the Trumpet Awards. I'm really honored and thrilled to be this year's Vanguard Award and recipient. I do not take this lightly, and I'm not taking this for granted. And as I join past honorees such as Beyoncé, Congress John Lewis, and my honorary grandfather, President Nelson Mandela, I'm just in such awe. This year has been a really tough year for our global community and for the Black community in particular. So now more than ever, we must stand up in support of one another. Our fight is far from over, but together we can achieve a safer and healthier, equitable world. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for this.